Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. Gratitude is a universal concept. Most advanced civilizations have a holiday dedicated to being thankful for what they have. On Earth, in the territory known as America, they call it Thanksgiving. They feast. They list the things they appreciate. They embrace their families. But an alien observer watching this peaceful ritual would be deeply confused by what happens exactly 4 hours later. Because at midnight the gratitude ends. And the doorbusters begin. To us it's Black Friday shopping. A chance to save $200 on a TV. But to a logical alien species, this sudden shift from peace to violent consumer chaos looks like a mandatory, state-sanctioned riot. They see thousands of people camping in the cold, not for survival, but to be the first to enter a sacred temple of commerce and fight to the death over plastic totems. Today's story is about the peacekeepers of the Karelian Collective. They arrived on Earth on a Thursday night. They saw families eating turkey and thought humans were a gentle, domestic species. Then they parked their cloaked ship over a Best Buy parking lot at 3 a.m. And they witnessed a level of brutality that made their Klingon equivalents look like pacifists. This is the story of how a discounted air fryer terrified a galactic empire. If you have ever thrown an elbow to get the last PlayStation, smash that like button. You are a warrior of the discount. And if you want to see an alien commander faint because he saw a grandma tackle a teenager for a toaster, subscribe and ring the bell. Doors open in 5 minutes. Prepare for combat. High Commander Zen sat in the command chair of the Harmony's Reach. The Karelians were a species dedicated to absolute logic and emotional suppression. They had achieved world peace millennia ago by simply agreeing that fighting was inefficient. Report on the surface activity, Zen ordered calmly. Commander, his tactical officer, Hux, replied. We are observing the settlement, Suburbia. The biologicals have finished their ritual feast. They are now mobilizing. Mobilizing for what? Sleep? Negative. They are leaving their warm dwellings. They are driving to large, brightly lit distribution centers. Look at the sensory feed. On the screen, they saw a parking lot outside a massive store called Megamart. It was 2 a.m. It was freezing. Yet, thousands of humans were lined up, wrapped in blankets, sleeping in tents on the asphalt. Why are they suffering? Zen asked. Are they refugees? Has their village been destroyed? We analyzed their communications, Hux said, confused. They are waiting for the deals. They speak of doorbusters, with religious reverence. They believe that if they are first through the gates, they will receive a great reward. A reward? Like eternal salvation? A cure for disease? No, Commander. The transmissions indicate they are waiting for a 65-inch 4K Ultra HD television with quantum dot technology. Marked down from $899 to $699. Zen paused. They are risking hypothermia to save 200 units of currency on a glowing rectangle. It appears so. The rectangle must be a sacred totem. It emits light and tells them stories. They worship it in their living rooms. Suddenly the atmosphere changed. A store manager inside the glass doors looked at his watch. It was time. Outside the crowd stood up. They shed their blankets like warriors shedding travel cloaks. They pressed against the glass. Their faces were contorted with a strange mix of greed and desperation. Energy spike detected, Hux warned. Their adrenaline levels are surging. They are entering a berserker state. They are no longer individuals. They are the horde. The manager unlocked the door. Click. The sound echoed like a starting pistol. The doors slid open, and hell passed through them. The roar of the crowd hit the Karelian ship's sensors. It wasn't a cheer. It was a battle cry. They are breaching the perimeter. Hux screamed, his calm demeanor shattering. Look at the violence. They are crushing each other in the entryway. The humans poured into the store like a flood of angry water. Zen zoomed in on a specific aisle. The electronics department. There was a pallet stack of the sacred 4K TVs. There were only 10 of them. There were 50 people running towards them. It is a resource scarcity simulation, Zen analyzed, horrified. The rulers have intentionally provided too few totems to incite combat. It is a gladiatorial game. A man grabbed the first TV box. Another man grabbed the other end of the same box. Tug of war. Hux narrated. They are fighting over the artifact. They are snarling. Are they going to rip it in half? If they do, the magic smoke will escape and it will be worthless. The first man shoved the second man into a display of DVDs. The display exploded in a shower of plastic cases. Casualties. Zen yelled. He used the environment as a weapon. He buried his opponent in outdated media formats. Ruthless. Then they saw the elder. A small, gray-haired human female. A grandmother, perhaps 80 years old. She was pushing a metal shopping cart. She looked harmless. She was heading for the small kitchen appliances. The last $20 toaster. A teenager was running for the same toaster. The youth has the speed advantage, Hux noted. The elder cannot compete. But the elder did not rely on speed. She relied on treachery. As the teenager ran past her, the grandmother expertly clipped his ankle with her heavy metal cart. Crunch. The teenager went down hard, sliding into a rack of discounted towels. The grandmother stepped over him without looking down. She grabbed the toaster. She put it in her cart. And she kept shopping. The aliens were stunned into silence. By the great logic, Zen whispered. Did you see the efficiency? The lack of remorse? She crippled a member of her own species for a device that slightly burns bread. They are monsters, Commander, Hux shivered. On Thursday they talk about love and family. On Friday they run over their neighbors with metal cages to acquire cheap goods. Their morality is entirely dependent on the discount percentage. The chaos continued for hours. The aliens watched humans fight over vacuums, wrestle over blenders, and form defensive perimeters around their full shopping carts. We must leave, Zen decided. We came to assess them for membership in the Galactic Harmony. But they are not ready. They are too volatile. If we offered them our advanced technology, they wouldn't use it for peace. They would wait until it went on sale and then beat each other to death with it. Agreed, Commander. Imagine if we introduced them to the limitless energy generator. They would trample us to get the early bird special. The Harmony's Reach engaged its engines and fled the solar system. Back in the Megamart parking lot, the sun was rising. The victorious shoppers were loading their loot into their SUVs. They were exhausted, bruised, and poorer than they were yesterday. But they felt triumphant. The grandmother loaded her toaster. She checked her list. Got it, she smiled. And I saved $15. She didn't know she had just scared away an alien alliance. She just knew her toast was going to be perfectly crunchy tomorrow morning. And that is the American way. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We give thanks one day and throw hands the next. It's called balance. If you have ever survived Black Friday without a scratch, hit that like button. You're a veteran. Comment below. What is the craziest thing you've ever seen someone do for a deal? Subscribe. And remember, no TV is worth a trampling. Cyber Monday is safer. Sale ended.